Hello everyone, and welcome to Distantly. I'm Kürşat Zeydanlı, and here's my boyfriend.
I am Ernesto Gonzalez.
If you listen to the first episode of our Distantly, you know that we are having a long distance relationship, and I'm from Turkey, and my boyfriend is from US. And in the first episode, we talked about how we met and like general difficulties of having a long distance relationship. And in the second part, we talked about the new Dungeons and Dragons movie and our thoughts about it and everything. We highly recommend you go and listen to the first episode as well, if you didn't yet.
Yeah, so you can get like a little backstory of how we met.
Yeah.
And
today we are gonna tackle the biggest problem of our relationship, I guess, the time difference.
Is it? I don't know if it's the biggest.
I don't know, we will see.
I don't know. To me, that's not the biggest, but
What's
I guess
the
we'll have to
biggest?
find out.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to say it.
You will
I
have
will
to.
eventually. Okay, yes. We will eventually. You guys have to stick around for that because we're gonna get get more and more deep. We're gonna
Yeah.
open. Yeah, we're gonna air out our laundry out here. You know what I mean? You guys are gonna be able to see all our shit stains.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Okay, so it is 7:54 a.m. over here. If I am lacking a little bit of the energy that I had in the first episode, I'm really sorry, guys.
No,
But
you're
I'm here
fine.
and I'm queer. What about what time is it? What time is it over there?
It's 5:54 p.m. So
PM.
yeah.
You said your roommates were gonna have a party.
Yeah. It's gonna start at like in a couple of hours, maybe 3.
Were you planning to join the party? Are you gonna?
Nah. No, I don't know anyone.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, let's talk about the time difference and balancing it out.
Okay, I think we should probably start talking about this with. We got prompted sort of by the universe or by our relationship, because we recently kind of dealt with this problem. It just popped up that's the last kind of little fight we had, right?
Yeah.
Was my inability or just me having a hard time how to balance you and my friends.
Not just
And-
you. I'm having
What do you
that
mean?
problem as well. Like, it goes two ways, not one way street.
No, but you're so bending towards me. Like you're so comforting and like you do things, for me, and that's amazing. And I'm not saying that I don't. I love spending time with you and everything, but sometimes I get this like I don't know, this voice in my head that is saying like, what the fuck? Just, you know what I mean? Like you're spending all the time with him. Just go do something else. Like do whatever you want, or you know what I mean? I don't know. And I fight it, but I know like, okay, let's start with what happened. And see, and I can see how it was my fault now from a distance, from a distantly place. I got out of work, right? And
Yeah.
one of my friends, and this might be also another thing about, well, my head's all over the place right now. I have a German friend, and because of I met him gaming, but because of the broadcast that I do, you know how we met on an application that you can go live, and I was live and stuff. I have friends from around the world. I enjoy people from different cultures, and so I have this German friend that I met playing a video game, and we just became friends. He's a big like a dummy. He's fun. He's just a fun guy, and every once in a while I like to talk with him to just, I don't know, he kind of puts me in the mindset of like, oh, fool around, joke around, everything is silly, everything is fine. And he's always like in a weird, like, I don't know if he's always high or if he's always drunk, I don't understand, because his accent is really thick and he's really German, and so sometimes I'm like, is it just his German? Like, is it just him being a German that is like weird or something? Or is it just, I'm not saying all Germans are weird, and not saying that
Yeah.
Belgium isn't Germany, but hello to those 3 or 4 listeners in Belgium. Our analytics are like saying that there's people in Belgium listening.
Yeah, what's
So
up with that?
hello, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyways, besides the point, I have a friend in Germany or whatever, and I I got off of work, and I told you, I'll call you when I get home. And usually
And I was busy when you got out of the work as well. Like
Were you?
I was having a haircut.
Oh yes. You were, yeah. And so I just said, I got off of work and I knew that I was supposed to call you right after I got off. But my German friend was like, hitting me up and wanting to talk. So I just decided, okay, let me talk to him and I'll call you when I get home. So I texted you that. I spoke to him and we got carried away like we always do, just talking bullshit. And I got home and I wanted to hang out with him more. And didn't I text you? I also texted you though, right? I said, we're jamming out to System of a Down.
Yeah, that's all you said though. Like you didn't say like, I'm just gonna hang out with him or like.
Every once in a while,
yeah.
Every once in a while, I get this like kick of like, let me go back and listen to my fucking rock music from like my emo stage or whatever.
It happens to everyone, I guess.
Right, and so my German friend and I were just rocking out on System of a Down, and it was badass, and I just didn't want to stop, and so I took forever. Like how long? I guess it was like 3 hours, right?
I don't know how long, but when you called me, you were already going to bed.
Yes, I called you when in bed,
yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, baby, I'm going to bed," and you were furious.
Kind of, yeah. I overreact all the time because I don't know. Like for me, that so far, if like it was a plan, kind of, because you told me like you were gonna call me when you get home, and when I have a plan and it gets cancelled or something, like it's probably the thing that I hate most. And I would say it's one of the biggest difference between us because you don't like planning your time. Like you like doing things spontaneously when you feel like it, and I kinda a planner.
Like you like to make lists.
Yeah, I like to make plans. Like I like to have an idea about what am I gonna do that day when I wake up.
Yeah.
And like if something pops up, like I don't know, maybe a friend calls me that they need me to do something, or like family, it kind of takes me down. Like I don't know, like I feel weird. I don't want to do those things, even it's the smallest thing and stuff like that. And that was it actually. Like I felt like it was a plan and it got cancelled, and I didn't know it got cancelled. Like you told me that you were doing that, but in my head it was just like okay, like it's taking a little bit more time, but we are gonna hang out after, because I didn't know.
No, you texted like, oh, I guess you're gonna listen to their whole discography.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours later. Yeah, it was like,
and we basically did. I thought when you said that, I thought you were like keeping track of me on Discord, or how on like on certain apps you can tell what the other person is doing.
Yeah,
it's like they're listening to this. But I thought you were watching that, and I was like, oh shit, he's not.
Discord just saying that you are listening to Spotify, not the song.
Oh, it doesn't say the song. Oh, so where does it say? Somewhere it says
Spotify.
What song you're listening. Oh, Spotify tells you. Okay. See, that's so interesting to me because as an introvert and as somebody with anxiety, I love when plans get canceled. Like I when something gets canceled, I'm like, fuck yes. Like, and don't get me wrong, all introverts out there will understand. No. All introverts out there, all people with anxiety will understand this. It's not that we want it to be canceled. It's that the letting go of stress of having to do something that causes anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that to be with you is an anxiety thing, but
I don't know. It surely sounds like it.
No. It's not like that at all. It's more of like the spontaneity of life exists, and like we're riding the wave, not like planning the wave. I don't know. There's a sense of, oh, I don't have to do this now. Like being forced to do something, even if it's like a social thing or anything, or just a boyfriend thing, it just feels kind of like, fuck, like now it's a thing. Like, not saying that the podcast feels like this, but I'm just saying, like, we were kind of supposed to record it yesterday, right? But we didn't. We waited until today.
No. Like, okay. We have time, so we didn't have to, like, we supposed to watch a couple episodes of the next topic we are gonna mention today,
Yeah.
But it's fine. It wasn't what I get. Like, there's something about me. Like, okay, this time it was like a little bit different because, like, Tuesday evenings when you get off work, it's the start of your weekend, and it's like when how can I say, when I'm excited to spend time with you. Like, it's your weekend and I'm trying to keep it free. Like, when a friend of mine is like asking me to spend time with them during like those times, I'm just saying like, I'm busy. And that's the one thing. But it doesn't make me right because I'm like this almost every time.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed it with your friends. When your friends have canceled plans, and you got furious too. Like you were just like,
yeah, like there are a couple of friendships that ended because like they kept doing it, and I was like just pointing out that okay, it's not like working for me. So like like tabletop games, like the people who listened to the first episode know that I love and play tabletop games, and we had a group of
you're a little
guys,
guy, Mr. Geeky,
and we were like meeting every week to play, and I was starting to work during that time, and the game was like canceling like a couple hours ago, or like just the morning of
they
the
were
same
canceling
day.
on the day.
Yeah, on the day, and I like after that happened like a couple of times, I texted them like, okay, like I'm starting to work and like my free time is gonna be like less than usual, so it won't work for me when it's like when I plan something and it got cancelled last minute. Like in general I don't like it, but it's gonna affect my like time management totally.
Did your friends also like work around a certain time, or were they kind of not working, or
only one of them was working, or like
okay,
no, two of them was working, but one of them was okay, and like I don't know, they don't take it as serious as me, I guess.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that you take it so serious. As a creator, you create
the
like
games or the time. Like yeah, like both actually. I take it.
Yeah,
both.
just yeah.
But I was talking about not just canceling, but like if that it's something about me, like even before I meet you, like for example, when I meet new people, like and when I'm introduced to a new friend circle and like start having time with them, like start enjoying their company, I tend to neglect my old friends. I realized that about me long time ago, and then as a solution, I started to combine friend circles. Like I started to introduce them to each other, so like when we spent time, we could spend time all together. So like no one is neglected. No one.
That
no
invites drama, though. That invites
and it
so
happens a lot.
Because I'm a firm believer in having I myself, as I said before, introverted guy with anxiety, so I choose to not have many friends, but I've noticed, and I know that when I have two groups of two people that I there's this one friend that I enjoy talking video games with, and and we talk the shit and we get high together and play video games, and then I have another friend that I'm like, oh, let's fucking talk about art and philosophy and I don't know stuff, and we get into that, and I've made them both meet because I was like, oh, it'd be fun for them, and one of them thought the other one was really annoying, the other one thought the other one was stupid, like it just didn't work out.
Yeah, it happened with Fabian and me as well. You introduced us and we didn't like each other.
It's different. It's different with you. See, that's a whole thing. And separately, maybe this could be a whole other episode, or maybe we can just mix it in here.
No, I just pointed out that like we can move on.
I don't know what I'm about to say is I don't like to mix my significant other with my friends. I don't I don't want to be hanging out with my significant other and my friends at the same time, because I'm not saying that I'm a different person with my friends, but with my close friends, I can maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe there's something about you that I want to tell them, and I can't really tell you because I don't know, you know what I mean? I hope you really do know what I mean. I don't want to sound like a crazy, but like
I
you
know
have
what you
friends. You have friends kind of like as therapy where you can tell them anything and they're going to give you this feedback. You know what I mean? And it's you. And I can't really tell you everything, especially if it's, I don't know. You know what? I hope you know what I mean. I don't want to sound like crazy.
It doesn't mean like, it doesn't necessarily mean that me and them like always spending time with you together. Like introducing your friends with like your partner.
Yeah, of course. Just introductions, of course. You guys, yeah.
Like because at the end of the day, like when we are together, like side by side in the same city, we will have to spend time with our friends, like all together.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. I get that.
And
yes,
we,
of course, like
actually, we did that with my friend. Like when we were recording our web show, and like you guys.
Hey Zaynep, hello.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zaynep, I love you. That's your friend. I've met one of your friends.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like I was introducing the friend circles, but it wasn't like when we meet, we all meet all together. Like I was just introducing them and leave the rest to them. Like if they don't like each other, they don't have to spend time, of course. But when I have a plan with one circle and one of them like from other circle calls me and like or texts me what you're doing. Oh, we are like just gonna hang out today. Like if you want, you can join as well. And at this way, like if I start to neglect one group, they were like, oh, I don't wanna like join that side. Yeah, like I don't want to spend time, like I don't like them much or like something, if in the worst case, but you should spend time with us as well. Like so they were reminding me that like, oh okay, I need to do this.
They don't. Well, that's the crazy thing where I've noticed also that people tend to, and again, this is me just studying people, just studying fucking society and groups of people and stuff. Oh my god, I totally blanked out. What were you saying again?
Just like people and me neglecting my friends and stuff.
People
like that.
start getting ownership. People start feeling that there's an ownership of their friends. Like, oh, this is my friend and I met him first, or this is my friend and like I introduced to them and now them two are hanging out, and like the person that introduced those two people like now starts feeling jealous, like, oh, they wouldn't even be friends without me, or the other way around where like, and to me that's so interesting.
To me, like I enjoy, for example, if I introduce like two people and they become like best friends or like close friends, I'm like, I enjoy that.
But what if they start hanging out without you?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm all the time hanging out. I'm like hanging out without them all the time. And that's the point where like I was coming to. With you, I like, I'm sorry to announce this, but like I feel like sometimes like I neglect all of my friends. So like I try not to. Like I visit my friend who is like living close. Like we have still game groups and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like I don't know how to balance things out as well. It's not just you. Like that's what I was trying to say, actually.
Well, thank you. I mean, I also want to apologize. I realized that I was not being respectful of your wishes, of your time, and I forgot that you don't like canceled plans and that it infuriates you. And
that's fine.
I got to admit, sometimes I like to make you mad because you make a really cute face when you're mad. So sometimes I just make you mad just for fun. But it's not for fun, because I love you, because I love your face.
Okay. And I'm going to make you happy and cancel some plans in the future.
No.
I'm going to make you free of that stress, don't worry. I'm just joking.
I want to do this. I guess it doesn't matter, and I will do it again. But I want to apologize publicly that I'm so sorry about that.
That's fine. No, I love you too, and you're sweet. Thank you. And now I forgot what we were talking about.
Just yeah, well,
Yeah, like balancing time is like really hard, especially
yeah,
when you have like that time difference.
yes. Well, that's it, right? Like I think that is, I don't know, 45-50% of the problem where you you are gonna be up at the time that everybody else is asleep, and I'm gonna be asleep every time everybody is up over there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so we're already mixing our times up, and now we're mixing our friends' time with us. You know what I mean? Like it's just another factor, another variable in it.
Yeah.
Um,
And like the thing that we are like, you don't like planning, and I like planning. It's affecting us, I think, as well. Because don't get me wrong, I know that you are not doing it on purpose or like,
no, you know how scattered my brain
yeah,
is, and from one day to another, from 1 minute to
yeah,
another, I'll be jumping topics and shows and
definitely, I
movies.
know. But like, for example, how can I say? Since I plan what am I gonna do, like which day, and I plan my days like around you, like your free times, like your off days and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And it's kind of difficult for me because, like, for example, if I said no to some of my friends during your weekend, and you like, suddenly tell me that like, is it okay if I like, spend my day alone, like, my
Hmm.
weekend? It's kind of like make me feel like, okay, so I could have spent time with my friends,
Okay,
but
see
I
that's
say,
okay.
yeah,
I'm glad you
that's.
brought this up
And
because
sometimes it's the other way. Like, you know, I get the idea of, okay, we are not gonna spend time together today from you. And like a couple of hours later, you are calling me and telling me that, oh, okay, I wanna hang out. I like, I wanna watch
yes, okay, see
something.
that's the problem. That's my problem. I am fucked up in that sense. I know I have to like fucking go to get one of those apps. What are they? What is one of fuck? If you
Planners?
wanna, no, no, no. If fuck, what is it called? Headspace or something. If you want to sponsor us, let us know. But there's these apps that you can, there's these apps that you can download so you can have fucking therapy and shit with a professional. Because I, and you know this very well. We'll start hanging out. We'll be everything is fine, and then one day I'll just be like, I feel so fucking suffocated. Leave me
Yeah.
alone. I want to be alone. And like, that's a total like I don't know bipolar thing. I don't know what it is. There's must be something up, but it's because I know you do recognize that we spend a lot of time on the phone, like a
Yeah.
lot. We're on the phone a lot, like
Yeah,
hours and hours on
definitely.
end.
Yeah, I know that.
And I know that subconsciously, or like my brain is kind of sometimes just like, hey, take a rest. Because as an introvert, and any introvert out there will know that spending time with just a human, like animals are amazing, but when you're spending time when you're spending time with a human, it's it's you have to be sort of up on. There's something on. You have to turn on a personality. And I'm not saying that I'm giving you a fake personality, but you have to just turn on your personality. You know what I mean? Like, and when you're by yourself or with a cat, you can just be yourself, and you don't have to turn on anything.
Yeah.
There's no energy to waste on having your persona, because again, a lot of people I think that have anxiety and stuff, stepping out the house, stepping out the front door is very scary and challenging and daunting. And putting on your clothes, putting on your character, the person who you've decided to be in this lifetime or at this point in time, you put on your clothes, you put on your sweater, you put on your shoes, and you've chosen these shoes because they empower you. You've chosen this shirt, these things, and so now you are the persona. Now you're turned on, and you can go deal with the strangers, you can go deal with the neighbors and your fucking boss and you know what I mean. But being alone is so comforting and so recharging. It's and so with you, that balance again, finding the balance of spending time with you and then also having my own time. And I am so used to just being alone. I have been alone my whole life. I've been, you know what I mean.
I mean,
I'm
here's the thing,
so
though. Like, you are not being alone when you say that to me, and like, start
that's
trying.
different.
I don't
Okay,
know.
yes,
That's
I
part I
go
don't
broadcast
understand.
because I go broadcast
Like, you are
because I go.
always with people, like talking to them. Like, you like I don't understand it. Like it's impossible for me to understand it because like I am kind of an extrovert. Like not kind of, I'm an extrovert, but recently I realized that I don't like being around of people as much as I did before. Like I'm starting to become an introverted extrovert.
Maybe because of me.
I don't know. Like maybe it's because like we are getting old. Because like I loved partying, I loved like huge groups of people. I like the company. Like I like the idea of like you never get bored. Like if you're bored talking to someone, you can just move on to like another table and talk with them. But recently, no.
You're not like you're not emotionally exhausted before, I guess.
Before,
when
no.
When you used to go partying, you just enjoy, like, people gave you that, like, oh my god, this was so much
Yeah.
fun. Let me go try this over here with
Yeah,
somebody
like
else.
people
I
enjoying.
used to be like that too.
Yeah, people enjoying their time in a party or like in a club. It was giving me energy before.
When
But-
I was in high school and like early college, I was like that.
And now I realized like we have a huge group during the time that the week I had my birthday and my friend had a birthday and
Oh, yeah.
my old roommate was like leaving the country and so like
And your ex showed up. So,
No.
Oh, that wasn't that time?
No.
I remember one time you like
I'm
went
talking about
somewhere and your ex showed
yeah,
up.
it was
out of
last
nowhere.
year. And
just
I'm talking
saying.
about this year and like I got bored, I got tired and like I came to my room and started watching a movie that I already watched like twice or three times.
Oh, that's anxiety, like, soothing behavior right there.
I
Like,
don't know.
Rewatching something that you've like know the ending to.
Yeah,
is very
and
comforting.
like one of my friends came with their plus one and like we watched two movies actually. And it was like it was the end of
One of my friends with their plus one. What does that mean?
yeah, like they
Are you-
brought.
is this your
they-
ex? Oh,
No,
okay.
they brought a plus one.
With
What?
their plus
Like-
one. Well, why don't you just say like one of their friends with their friend? One of my friends brought a friend. I don't know. That doesn't matter.
I don't know. I'm more like going on with the slang, I guess. Like the parties
Yeah.
you brought a plus one and stuff. What was I saying? Why did I start talking about
I
this?
don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, and like yeah.
Your plus one. You brought a plus one. You got some.
That's the last sentence. Oh my god. Anyway, it's impossible. Like it's still impossible for me to totally understand, totally get what you mean by those. Like
Yeah, I
don't-
know.
I'm not an introvert and I don't have anxiety, as far as I know. At least not the same level with you.
You have a different anxiety, like,
I guess.
because you do have, like, sometimes you get those fucking panic breathing attacks, and you're
Yeah.
like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
That might be that might be something with your thyroid too. I didn't think I just thought about that right now.
Maybe.
Watch it.
But I don't need to understand. I just need to respect your decision. And sometimes I not able to do that, and I'm sorry about that. Like
No.
No, like
I
sometimes
understand.
it's totally my fault.
Baby, I understand, but I totally get it from your side too, where it's like, oh, you're saying you want to be alone, but now I see you on fucking live, like, showing your tits or whatever, you know? And so, like, but that's the thing where I'm not looking at anybody. I just see numbers going up that people are watching, and me being able to, like, I don't know, I'm still by myself. I'm turning on me for me, not for anybody else. There's like I guess because I am an extroverted introvert as well, or I'm an introvert more, but because I was an actor, I like performing.
Yeah.
You saw that for a bit I had that kick where, like, I want to get Grand Theft Auto 5 fucking role play, and I wanted to
Yeah.
role play. Like, to me, also, like, going into character to do something else is also very exhilarating and fun, and part of it is, I don't know, it's calming as well, just getting into character.
Yeah.
Like, for this podcast, I have to put myself at like 11. You know what I mean? Like, I have to turn on a little bit more of myself.
Oh my God.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And I'm pretty sure you noticed that, but also I see that you don't. You very much stay the same.
I don't know. Like, I was nervous at the start of the first episode. I was nervous at the start of this episode as well,
This
but
one,
like
yeah.
starting the episode helped actually. Like, the last time you were the one who would start the episode, and like starting the episode helps because
you did much better.
Yeah,
you did much better than me.
I don't know.
Well, I'm saying I'm saying that you did much better at starting the show than me. I feel
yeah,
like
it was the
just
first episode. Like I learned from you. Let's say like.
Oh. Okay. Now that we've reached the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, we need to cover the other.
Yeah,
topic
our next
as well.
topic. My topic.
Yeah, it's kind of make a smooth sense because like we were talking about the video games. Last,
what video?
Yeah, you were like mentioning GTA 5 and online and like role playing and
a little
stuff
transition.
Like that. Yeah, and
okay.
Yeah.
So my turn. Not my turn, but like we're gonna talk about what I want to talk about now.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about The Last of Us. First, let's start with the video game. The video game came out for the PS3 on June 14th on 2013. I remember hearing about it. My ex had gotten me my PlayStation, like the PlayStation 4 that I like have now. He bought it for me, and I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying that. Maybe I'm just trying to make you jealous or something.
I don't know. But, and I don't like the idea of like. Anyway.
Well, maybe there should be an episode of like our exes talking about like our exes.
Not just exes, but anyway, let's move on. Yeah,
X's and O's. Anyways, no. So it came out on June 14, 2013, and I remember at that time, yeah, like that time was like I was beginning with that relationship or whatever, and I went with Carmela to that's one of my friends, one of my close friends. I went to the mall, and I remember going to GameStop, and there was this guy on the ladder, and he was like pretty up high, and he was fixing something up there, and he worked at GameStop, and I remember going up to him and telling him, "Hey, do you guys have The Last of Us?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's over there or whatever. You haven't played it? Have you played it?" I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, man, I love it. It's gonna change your life or something." He's like, he said something along those lines of like, "You're gonna love it. It's gonna change your life" or something. And I remember just thinking like, oh, cool. Like I love a good story. I love a good game. And I remember one of the first things that the online people or everybody was saying was like the graphics, the online, like the way the world looks is like revolutionary. I guess there was like a breakthrough on the engine, Unreal Engine or whatever fucking system they're using to make it. But it was really cool or whatever. And so I started playing it. And anybody who's played it or anybody who's seen the show, it starts off very similar where the main character, Joel's daughter, dies, right? And I had never played a game where your like heartstrings are pulled so fast. Like in the very like as soon as the game
I'm gonna
starts,
stop you here for a second.
What?
We need to make a disclaimer again. We are gonna talk about Last of Us the game and Last of Us the show.
Oh yes.
And if you
spoiler alert
didn't watch or didn't play and you wanna like experience it for yourself, you should probably stop listening at this point.
Yes, yes. And if you did watch and stuff, stay for the Kiki.
Yeah.
I hope I'm using that right.
I'm sorry I cut it off, but yeah.
No, you're fine.
Go on.
Okay, so I had never played a game that pulled your heartstrings that fast. And I guess I'm also a sucker for like daddy stories, where like stories about fathers and their kids, and all that stuff. Like to me, that is, I don't know, very, very cathartic because I guess I had an emotionally distant father growing up. So yeah, and yeah, I loved it. I fell in love with it as soon as I started playing the game, and then the game slowly grew this like really big following, and I guess I joined it a little bit late, but not too late. Okay, so I had some notes. I have some notes here from the game.
Like for me, I never played the game because like I didn't have a console, and the game was like PlayStation only, I guess. Yeah. It wasn't on PC.
Yeah, it's an exclusive.
Until recently, but I knew about the game. I heard people talking about it. I watched some short videos, and I only recently when they decided to make a show and the show started, we just watched the playthrough together to have an idea.
So the game was riding the wave of the zombies, right? There was the media all around fucking the zeitgeist has like little bursts of like fantasy characters or made believe characters. Like before zombies, it was wizards, and then before wizards, it was vampires, right? Or like there's like these big bursts in the media of these things. And so The Last of Us was very much riding that zombie vibe, but with a twist, right? It's not zombies, it's an infection, a fungal infection, or it's a fungus that grows in your fucking brain. And so I was never into zombies. I don't ride the mainstream media waves or the main popular waves. I hate to like come off as that type, but I listen to indie things. I have taste and culture, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know. And so I like that twist. To me, there was like it's not really a zombie game. It's this game about an infection. Like you know what I mean. Like I was on that little
Almost
whatever trip.
I'm sorry to bring up this to you, but almost every zombie movie or like game is about infections.
Yes, I know, but not fungal infections.
Yeah, like it's the first time. And another thing, the fungi, which is like the reason of that infection, is called zombie fungi.
Well,
Like it's
care.
actually a zombie, game show, whatever.
Fine. Anyways, Mr. Party Ruiner. No. No, what was I saying? Oh, anyway, so yes. For those of you that have stuck around and haven't seen the show and don't really care or play the game is about like a post-apocalyptic world where the world's gone to shit because people have turned into zombies, right? Or
Yeah.
zombie-like things. And the story follows. You play as an older man who's lost his daughter tragically because of this fungal thing, and 20 years later, he's forced to take this girl across the United States or across, a bunch of different states, a long distance, and then on to this place or whatever to find the cure or to make the cure for the disease. But along the way, you fall in love with the character. You fall in love with the little girl. Her name is Ellie.
Yeah.
And, you kind of regain... the main character, Joel, the older man, he regains, like, this humanity that he lost when his daughter died, right? That's the whole thing. And I loved Ellie. Like playing the game, you played the game because it was cool and it was beautiful and you're Joel and like you're experiencing and you're protecting this little girl, but you fall in love with the Ellie character, with the little girl. You fall in love with her like funny, ironic sarcasm and you can tell that, and Ashley Johnson kicks so much ass as the character. I loved her. I fell in love with that character. And you when you finish the game, I think people came back for Ellie. You play the first game because you're curious, you want to know what's going on, it's a cool story, reviews and everything, and you play the game. And then you fall in love with the character, and when they made Last of Us Part 2, I'm pretty sure everybody came back for her. I don't have a doubt that people just wanted to know her story. And that's what The Last of Us is. If you think of The Last of Us as a character building, and I think I've heard, oh my god, what's the... Alex... something, I'm so sorry, I don't remember his name, but the writer, the creator of The Last of Us, he said that The Last of Us is basically an origin story for a badass character, like Ellie's origin story. And it's and because in The Last of Us Part 2, the game, I don't know if you guys can hear the dogs barking, please, I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
There's a crazy dogs in the background. Thanks. She becomes such a badass, cool LGBT representing character, and we don't have a lot of those in mainstream gaming or media right now.
At least not back then. I guess
more now.
Yeah,
yes, exactly, not back then. And so, yeah, it was a big deal, and it was even though she's a lesbian, I myself felt very empowered as like, fuck yeah, main character in a freaking video game, and it's a sick video game, and she's gay. Like it was just really, really cool. And then so I fell in love with it. Let me give you some of the facts that I wrote down because some of them is really cool. So came out on June 14, 2013 on the PS3, and then the DLC called Left Behind came out on the 2014. So like a year later, on February, I guess maybe Maybe it was on Valentine's Day. I don't even know.
I
I didn't
don't know.
notice. Maybe not. But anyways, a year later they came out with the DLC, and that's when they dropped the backstory of Ellie, of how she got the infection. Because the game just starts as like you meet
Yeah.
Ellie, and she's already infected.
Yeah,
And like
she's already bitten.
she's a cure. She's already bitten, right? And so you play the game or whatever, and then the DLC drops, and it shows you how she got bitten, who she got bitten with, and you see her fucking have a kiss. Like it's two little girls kissing, like a pop kiss, you know. And some people were like pissed off, like why is this game showing two little kids kissing? But it was so cute. It was beautiful. It was like two little girls, finding love. They're like teens, and it was nice. It was really cute, and I loved it. And I again was very empowered by the whole LGBT aspect of it.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the show really quick. I don't know if you knew this. I'm pretty sure you don't. But Bella Ramsey, the girl who plays Ellie, she wore a binder for 90% of the show. Do you know what a binder is?
No.
A binder is, I guess, a tool or something. And please, I'm so sorry for any transgender people out there. If I'm like, not representing this right or not, giving y'all justice. But a binder is a lot when transgender boys when they still have their breasts, or if they want to keep the female breasts that they have, or just the breast, they put on they either put on this thing where it pushes their tits back.
Okay.
It pushes their and
Like
it
a
makes
corset.
so yeah, but for the chest,
Okay.
where it's just like it makes them look flat chested, and that's like super empowering. I know that other transgender guys like to wear like a little pouch, like they put like a sock in their pants to have like a little lump so it can look like they have a dick, and it's just being an extrovert and speaking like bringing back the whole stepping out your door, and you have to get into, what I mean? It's like that for them. They like to put these on. They want to be flat chested. They want to have that little bump down there. They want to feel masculine. And so Bella Ramsey, the actress, she identifies as non-binary as of January, like this year. She came out saying like, I'm non-binary, which I guess is part of the transgender kind of like community, if you will. And I thought that's really cool. There's a whole undertone of LGBT in The Last of Us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Ellie, of course, the character is lesbian or whatever, and then now the actress playing her in the show is actually non-binary, and
that's cool. Like I didn't know that. Yeah,
it's pretty badass. And there's a badass parallel, and I wrote this down last night. Elliot Page's character design, when he identified as a female, they were in a game called Beyond Two Souls, and Elliot Page gave his likeness to the company, so they mapped out his features and everything, and they put it into a game. And I think Naughty Dog saw this, and I guess kind of maybe used the data. I don't know what, but they used her likeness as well to make Ellie the character in the game. And then Elliot Page saw this, and he didn't decide to sue. He decided to just be open about it, like, hey, you've stolen my likeness. And it became a big deal. It became a really big deal in like the gaming / Hollywood media, and you can tell that from the first game to the second game, because Ellie grows up, you see how they changed her face to look more like Ashley Johnson, which is the character that voices Ellie in the game.
Okay.
And it's cool because if they stole the likeness from Elliot Page, who is a transgender, and now the person who's playing that character in the game is also trans, or is in the non-binary, there's a really cool like bubble of LGBT of like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I really like that this game has that that little LGBT acceptance bubble, I don't know, like net around it. I don't know, that's really cool for me. And also Pedro Pascal has a trans sister.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
His sister's trans, and so he's super supportive of Bella Ramsey.
I love Pedro Pascal as Joel, actually. Like,
he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his acting. I love his being that isolated guy, like coming out of his
Oh, he
shell.
plays Joel.
Yeah, he's like
He plays
he's
Joel very
giving it.
well.
Yeah.
I have a whole other thing with Bella Ramsey. Like Bella Ramsey's character as Ellie, I have gripes with that. I'm gonna hot take.
Yeah, even I realized that the difference. Like,
Yeah.
they try to give her that smart characteristic, but I think they are lacking the fun part. Like, they are lacking the lovable
Oh my
part.
God.
Like, they are just.
Okay. Yes, I'm gonna talk about that. Okay, so hot take. Please forgive me, guys. If you guys, I'm gonna. Everybody's allowed to have their opinions. Bella Ramsey's cool. I like her in Hilda. She voiced Hilda, the animated character. I like that cartoon. She was really good in Game of Thrones. She has her own show on like Prime. I think I think it's like a periody kind of show where it's like, I don't know.
No,
It just looks periody. But anyways, I know she's a good actress, and I get that. I just have a fucking big problem with her playing Ellie. Like I see her. I see her character, her portrayal of Ellie, and it pisses me off because Ellie was so cool. Like, to me, Ashley Johnson's charm and sarcasm and ironic taste in like the world. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was so cool. She was so lovable and approachable, even though she was like spunky and spicy. She had quirky, funny things. And Bella straight up just plays it as a bitch. Like, she plays it as like a cunt. Like, I don't know. She's just pissed all the time, and like she has these like little ironic quotes that are supposed to be like funny, like the Ellie from the game are, but she plays them with more of like a distaste. Like she there's a certain distaste in her approach to the lines that pisses me off. Like, as an actor, I see missed opportunities in her acting choices.
But is it about her choices or like screenplay?
Well, no, that's the thing. Also, again, okay, so this is where I kind of am out of my league a little bit, or a lot, where I will comment on people's acting a lot more passionately because I know it and I studied it, But I feel like the filmmaking, like the making, like the actual screenplay or the storyboard is a little elementary. Like, it's I'm so sorry. I hope the director doesn't hear this, and I would love to be in any of your works.
I hope the director hear this. I know. Anyway,
I don't know. I don't want to. No, I'm just gonna be honest. But there's points. There's like there's points where like the camera points at things or does something that I feel like it isn't necessary. They're spoon feeding us. They're doing little things where I'm just like, that's not necessary.
Yeah.
And it feels a little, I don't know how to say it, like dragged out. And anyways, so let's go. Let me move on to the show. Right. Well, let's we're talking about the game. We're slowly moving to the show. Now let's talk about the first episode.
And like, we talked about the infection and stuff, and like, I actually kind of I kind like, it's not my field. Here. I never studied like infectious diseases or like fungi or like it wasn't my field of biology when I studied it, but I did some research because I didn't want to be like that ignorant biologist doesn't know anything about the fungi in the podcast at least.
Good.
So like, they say that like fungi can't infect the human body because like the body temperature and like when they mutate and like start infecting humans, like our body can't fight with them because like we don't have an immune system. It's totally wrong. Apparently, fungi can infect humans as it is now. It's different.
Well, yeah, there's like
a lot of fungi infections like inside and out.
Athlete's foot.
And human body can actually fight with fungi. Like, we have some cells which can fight with fungi infections. It's a little bit different with cordyceps actually, and I learned that cordyceps are used for treatment of some diseases.
Okay, when I hear cordyceps, I think of like individual spores. What is a cordyceps? What's the difference from a cordyceps and a fucking mushroom?
Cordyceps is a species of mushroom, like, which is like
so it's just like
not just one species, but some species of mushroom which are like known as zombie fungi, like like just infecting the brain and taking control of the
Right.
host, and they are
Well,
called cordyceps.
right. The cordyceps are the ones that take over those ants, right?
Yeah,
They make the ants into
ants and
zombies.
spiders generally, like they're like general
That's
host.
where the
is
show
like,
got it.
Yeah,
Got it
and
from.
we use cordyceps in like to help some like to help us
In
treat
medicine?
in medicine.
Isn't like penicillin? Isn't penicillin
No, penicillin
like
is like totally different. Penicillin is like
I
from bacteria.
oh bacteria?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like there are like really common health problems. We use them like coughs, chronic bronchitis, and like the general respiratory or like kidney problems. A lot of things actually. And actually there are like some risk groups that you shouldn't use cordyceps as treatment if you have like cancer, diabetes, or like if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or like if you're a children. So they can cause some problems in human body already, and our bodies can fight with fungal infection. That's just for the game or show's sake, and it's totally fine. Like I think like it's a common point between those like end of the world, like apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic scenarios in general. Like they are not totally 100% scientifically true.
Yes, fungus. I also did a little bit of study for it, but not for the podcast, just because I was wanted to know about it. Let me just cover really fast little bullet points that I thought about the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So the first episode, Joel's daughter is black, which is pretty cool. In the game, it's a little white girl, and whatever. Yeah, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But then when I saw the show, it was like, fuck yeah, representation. You better get that. Tommy and Joel are Latino. Oh yeah, I thought that's also a change. In the game, Joel is a white guy, just a white guy, and in the show, he's Latino. And I thought Hollywood was gonna treat him as just like, yeah, we know he's Latino, but he's playing a white guy, and like I thought his brother was just gonna be another white guy. For some reason, I like how they did the whole he has a black daughter and he's not black. I thought they were gonna do that with him in the sense of like, oh, Latinos, Joel's Latino, but his brother's white, and it was just
Yeah,
that.
in the game, his brother is like total frat guy. Like he seems like a frat boy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, he seems exactly very like, what's going on, Joel? Anyways, and there was Arab representation in the show in the first episode for a quick second. They were like, I don't know what, I think maybe just for the representation, but didn't you notice that there was like a Muslim family dealing or something like a quick
I don't remember.
Yeah, the clocksmith. I guess a person fixing the clock.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah,
They were Arabic. They were
like,
Muslim.
Middle Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. In the game and in the show, they have the little girls. Their daughter, Joel's daughter, is wearing the same shirt. And I've noticed in the show, not just that now.
Okay.
When I saw the first episode, I was like, oh, that's the same shirt. But now I've noticed that they're keeping with the same. They're keeping with the same.
Maybe don't worry, that's fine. We are hearing.
Yeah,
Umbra.
My cat.
Yeah, and it's
my
fine.
cat Umbra is meowing. I'm sorry, guys. Why are power converters blowing up? Yeah, I remember thinking, what the fuck? Like, why are the power like the whole world is like, the whole world's getting infected, and all of a sudden, fucking the converters outside, like the street converters, the electricity is just blowing up. That to me was crazy. I was like, are converters also getting infected? I don't understand.
It's probably about like there's a guy like.
And she asks in the car, like, why were the converters blowing? She asks because it's true. Like, what the fuck? But I think they were just trying to make it, dramatic.
Maybe, yeah.
Pedro Pascal did a good did a good when his daughter dies in the show. He did a good job at that.
Yeah.
The actor who does Joel in the video game had to do a bunch of takes, and the director didn't like it, and then he had to come back and do another one, and then find because he used to like scream. I think like you can see it online if you guys can go look it up. The actor who plays Joel in the video game talks about that crying scene, the scene where his daughter dies, and I think he would like scream like each time she died. He was, and the director couldn't tell, like, didn't know how to tell him, like, damn, dude, that performance wasn't good enough. And then he finally, at the very end, did like a silent grieving thing.
Yeah.
And that it was like the one, and I think Joel did a pretty good job at that too. Drug dealer. Oh yeah, what the fuck? Joel being a drug dealer, that was not in the game. Like, I was like, oh shit, he's a drug dealer? What the fuck?
Yeah, he's a smuggler in general, and like they put the drugs in the menu as well, I guess.
I guess so. No spores also. In the show, there's no spores. And in the game, like, you have to watch out for spores.
Oh.
And like in the show there's like the whole spores thing is not a thing. Also I put not into this Ellie choices. Yeah, because Ashley Johnson gave the character more likability. Bella's portrayal is more bitchy than spunky. There it is. Ellie sees. Oh yeah, there's a part I think at the beginning, at the end of the first episode, where Joel kills a guy, like brutally punches him to death, right?
Yeah.
And Bella Ramsey's character Ellie's just standing there, like looking at it, right? And there's kind of like a sense of like she's liking it or something, like she's liking Joel kicking this guy's ass.
Did you like? I thought she was shocked actually in that scene.
No, I guess I don't know. But that's the thing where it was so you can't tell what it was. She was just standing there looking at it, you know. And I put here Ellie sees death when Arya holds the sword to Joffrey in the Game of Thrones. Arya showed realization when in the first episode of Game of Thrones, when Arya holds the sword up to King Joffrey's like on the floor, and like there's a moment where she realized like I'm above you and I'm like stronger than you right now, and you're like this supposedly this prince. Like I can tell in Arya's acting, in Arya's character, that there was a realization of like, oh, like I'm a tomboy and I like to fight and do things. You know what I mean? And I feel like Bella Ramsey's portrayal, like I think she was supposed to have that kind of same realization. She was supposed to kind of be like, ooh, this is interesting, this is good. And no, like all she did was just stare and look like a fucking, I don't know, sorry, she pissed me, I don't know, yeah. I just don't like Bella's portrayal of this. Anyways, so yes, Arya showed realization and Ellie was more focused. She just showed more focus. Okay, episode 2, infected zombie makeout. At the very end, when fucking zombie goes and makes out with Tess, that was crazy to me.
That was interesting choice of scene, I guess.
But see, that's the crazy thing where like, are they gonna go? Supposedly, they're gonna go into the idea that like if you get infected, you lose control of your motor abilities, but you're still in there, like in your head, you're kind of still there, and you're doing things that you don't want to do. It's like you don't really die. You know, and like everybody in the show, and I think in the game, believes that once you're infected, you're lost and like you're dead basically. But there's a whole little, I think later on they talk about that too. They talk about like, are they still in there? Like I think the show goes more into that, which I think is really cool.
I think we kind of had an image at the third episode when like, you know, because Joel says like they can't see but they can hear during the second episode, and at the third one we see infected who could follow the light when Ellie was like, you know, showing the light.
Oh no, she was doing it with the knife.
Yeah, knife. But like, we saw that they can see. Like some of them can see, and maybe that's what.
So that was the only thing I had for episode 2. I was thinking maybe showing they are still in there. That's what I put. Like they're maybe showing that people who get infected are still in there. Episode 3, tampons. When she finds tampons, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my god, we already reached the 1 minute. Okay. Food supply theory. That was interesting to me. I don't think they said that in the game where Joel talks to Bella or to Ellie about oh yeah, like people got infected because they got into the food supply, it got into rice, and like that whole
I
theory
think that was in the game as well. I remember that.
Was
yeah,
it?
I remember that part a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exposition feels forced. This is kind of like a filmmaking thing I have, where
Definitely.
if the exposition feels forced, like it feels like, oh, let me tell you what happened in the past by explaining it to this little girl, and like you can tell that like he's explaining it to us. He's not doing it for the little
Yeah.
girl. Like it feels forced, and that could be they could have done that better by like being more creative with it. They could have shown a fucking news station, or they could have shown something. You know what I mean? Like there could have been other ways to tell the viewer how things happened, not just
Yeah.
hey, it got into here and this and that. You know, there was exposition was a little lazy there. Finally, they bring in the gas masks. Oh, Bill's character. Bill's character was wearing the gas mask as if he knew about sports.
I don't think it was
like
for the sports.
game.
I think
You don't think so?
I think he was wearing it because, like, military use gas bombs, like,
Yeah.
those smoke bombs and stuff like that. I think he was just wearing that for that. Like, I don't think it was for the sports, because military was
Okay.
like, knocking doors and like, taking people out. I think he was just being cautious, like paranoid about it. I didn't get the idea about the sports there.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think I saw that spores aren't going to be a thing in the show.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
It's not you can't get infected in sport. But I liked seeing a mask because I was like they were very much part of the game.
It should be. Yeah.
The gay, unsure sexual tension was very palpable when Bill and Frank are having that dinner, that like first little lunch. No. When the piano scene, and you even asked me like, how does he know he's gay? And you were like, how can he tell he's gay? And I told you because he knows how to pair a rabbit with wine.
Yeah, it's so stereotypical. In my opinion, like, I don't know. I don't like those stuff. Like, I don't like just putting all like gayness, if you don't mind me saying that.
But he wasn't. Bill wasn't gay.
Yeah.
He was like a doomsday prepper. He had guns and was super rough, right? And so he likes a good fine dining. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's a little gay, and I'm okay with that.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it may be right, but picking that, like,
to use yeah.
for that scene is kinda stereotypical for me.
It would have been better than like,
Yeah.
Frank finding his porn stash. That's better.
Yeah,
I mean, it's better than that.
Well, why not? Like, another, like, not even finding out, like, maybe a conversation about, I don't know, there could be. I don't like the idea of just one signal making him know.
Yeah.
And beside,
Yeah.
like, that signal is so stereotypical. I don't like that.
Okay. I wonder if there's anything with the song, like how it was.
Maybe.
It was both
Maybe.
their song. Maybe the song has some story in that we don't know about. I'm feeling a little like Tina, where I want a zombie to join in. When they were having sex when they were on the bed, I just kept thinking like a zombie's gonna come in and fucking kill him. Like they're having sex and they shouldn't be having sex.
I have another question.
Jesus is gonna fucking
Why both of them are dead
get mad.
when they visit that ranch, like the town?
He decided to kill himself.
But isn't one of them is alive when they visit with Ellie, like Joel and Ellie?
In the game.
Yeah, in the game, one of them is alive. Like,
Yeah.
Why they-
Yeah. I was
why they did
gonna
that?
sing that. I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say go Nick Offerman, straight doing gay. Cause the other character, the guy who plays Frank, is gay in real life. But Nick Offerman is not. I think he's married and he has a wife and everything. And seeing him, I just love that. I love it when straight guys do gay things and they do it well. Like John Leguizamo and Tu Wong Fu was amazing. Fucking what's his name? Wesley Snipes was also amazing in Tu Wong Fu. Like,
it was amazing.
Yeah, like. So like I love straight people really taking on the gay and doing it well. And Nick Offerman, he had no gayness to him. There was nothing really gay about him besides knowing how to pair a fucking good rabbit with wine. So I loved it. I just put go Nick Offerman. Didn't think I would cry. I knew it was coming. Yeah, like I knew what was coming. I had seen already online I knew that there was going to be a gay story and it was going to be tragic, and still I fucking like I cried.
I didn't
Bill
realize
killed himself. Oh yeah, I kind of hit it. Bill killed himself in the game. He survived and missed Frank in the game, and that's what I'm saying. In the game, Frank hangs himself. So like in the game, you go and you have to get through all these booby traps because Frank set up the whole town into booby traps, and so you have to get by these booby traps, and it's a whole fucking cool thing. And then you meet him, and it's this grumpy man who's like a doomsday prepper, and you get guns and stuff, but then you have to go get a battery for a car in the game, and that's when we find Frank hanging, and I think he has like a Hawaiian shirt on, and Bill quickly just mentions really fast like, yeah, that's Frank. Only a fool would be wearing a shirt like that or whatever. Like it was definitely written that Frank is gay in the game, but they didn't explore it much. We did not see a whole fucking backstory. We just saw Frank being bitter and sad because I guess just the world has ended and his lover killed himself. And in the show, it was more romantic, very romantic, tragically romantic, Romeo and Juliet romantic. Yeah, which I thought was very beautiful. I liked that.
Yeah, I like that episode.
I think
it was the best episode we watched so far. Like just. Yeah, I didn't like the first two.
Remember when I was like, what significant thing happened in the second episode? And you were like, Tess died. And I was like, oh, that's nothing. Like, because in the game, Joel doesn't grieve Tess like the way Pedro Pascal is showing that Joel is grieving. Like, he actually is like sad about it. He does tell Ellie, like, don't you ever talk about Tess. He does tell her that. But like, the show does a good job of showing us like, oh, he actually did like Tess. Tess wasn't just a survival partner.
But
that he
at the same time, the thing you said, like, oh, it's nothing. Like Tess dying is not significant. Like, that's a significant point. But
yeah,
beside that, the second episode is empty. There is nothing in the second episode. Like, there is nothing worth remembering.
Besides the makeout.
Yeah, like, and it's, I don't know. The first episode, okay, like they're introducing the world, like they're introducing our adventure group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. And the second episode, there's nothing going on. Like just at
nothing
the
really
end,
happens,
at the end, Tess sacrifice herself, and
I guess it's just like setting up the journey, like setting up like, oh, we have to get this girl somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the whole point of the second episode. But anyways. Yes, guys, we are not going to keep you here longer than an hour and fucking 10 minutes. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you for listening. That was
such an abrupt ending.
Yeah, you kind of knew us a little bit better now. And like we talked about the first 3 episodes of Last of Us. And yeah, like next episodes, we will see what we are going to talk about. And like, thanks for listening.
Yes. And Distantly is prickly. That one didn't work.
Yeah, you still. No. It's not gonna work as well.
Distant is not consistent. I don't know.
We're gonna figure that. We're gonna figure that.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Kisses and hugs. Bye.
Bye.